like to request Dr. Rajesh Kumar Pandey sir to share some insight on the topic of fractional calculus and image.
Hello.
Sir, some extra noise is coming, sir. So someone is using two devices nearby. So
Now it's fine. Now it's fine. Maybe someone using mobile in. Now it's fine. Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello. Hello,
Hello,
give a brief introduction again,
Kaushalen.
sir.
So may I start now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now you start.
Okay. So first of all, I thank Dr. Kaushalendra and uh, NIT Jamshedpur for inviting me in this workshop. Uh, I'm going to present on fractional calculus and image denoising. So first of all, I'll be discussing on the basics of fractional calculus, and then I'll introduce about topics of image processing, and then we'll go to image denoising. And in between that, we'll be discussing also how this fractional calculus that is being applicable for other applications too. So first of all, the basic question comes in mind that talking about fractional calculus. So calculus means whenever we talk about calculus, there appears the derivative. So the question comes in mind that what is fractional derivative? So normal derivative that we know, ordinary order derivative of order n, that is dny, dtn, or dnyt, or ynt. So what about the fractional derivative? That is the fractional derivative. It is actually the integer order n that is replaced by the fractional order alpha or any fraction in place of the integer n. So d alpha y dt alpha, or d alpha yt, or y alpha t. So the question again comes that can alpha be a negative, a real, or a complex number? The answer is yes. It can be negative, it can be real, or it can be a complex number. So what is fractional derivative? The answer that is going to follow shortly. A brief history about fractional derivative. The concept of this fractional derivative, it was actually started at the same time as the integer order derivative was investigated. Around 1675, Leibniz introduced the notation of the integer order derivative, that is dny dxn, that is to present the nth order derivative of function yx with respect to function x. And in 1695, L'Hopital in a letter asked Leibniz, what about if n is equal to half? And after that, Leibniz replied, it appears to be a paradox, but in future, consequences will be drawn about this fractional derivative. In past history also, several mathematicians and engineers, they worked on this fractional derivative. They also established the concepts that is used for integer order derivatives, and they're quite related using the fractional derivatives. And these mathematicians, they are Leibniz, Euler, Lagrange, Fourier, Abel, Leville, Riemann, and etc. Other known mathematicians, that is, they are Cauchy, Hadamard, Hardy, Riesz, and Weyl. So in this sense, the subject that is old, we will not say that it is a new, it is a quite old because the concept it was initiated during the same time when the fractional calculus was, integer order calculus was investigated. So why is this subject not well known? It is not well known because that earlier there were very few applications and there were many other resolved issues, and now such issues are resolved and several other applications of these fractional derivatives they are found, and one of them that we are going to discuss in this talk, that is the application of fractional filter or fractional mask in image denoising problems. And in this sense, this subject that is new, and several researchers they are now using this idea of fractional filters or fractional masks in the various applications of image processing, like image denoising, image enhancement, and other segmentation problems. So a bit, I'll draw your attention to some basic concepts, and it is going to help to define the expression for the fractional integral and fractional derivatives. So we take that, use the idea of Laplace transform, that already we know that Laplace transform of t to the power n, it appears to be n factorial upon s to the power n plus 1, and inverse Laplace transform, that is of 1 upon s to the power n plus 1, that is going to be the same, n factorial upon s to the power n plus 1. And if we take a problem of a problem such that dn of yt is equal to f of t, and in that case, if the initial conditions are taken as yi0, that is 0, for I is equal to 0, 1, 2, and up to n minus 1. So if we apply the Laplace transform both the sides, so Laplace transform of dn yt is going to be s to the power n ys, and also we will have some other terms in this expression, Laplace transform of derivative of another derivative of yt, and since the initial condition are chosen 0, so they will be cancelled out, and just we are going to get s to the power n y of s. So and one more property, that Laplace transform of the convolution of any two functions f of t and z of t. So this convolution is defined as z of t minus tau, f of tau d tau, and the whole integral 0 to t. That is equal to the product of their Laplace transforms, and where fs and gs, they are the Laplace transform of f of t and g of t. And the same way that we define that inverse of inverse Laplace transform of the product gs and fs, that is the convolution of function z and f. So convolution means that for engineers it is basically the window that we pass the signal f of t in a certain domain. So if we take that gs is equal to 1 upon s to the power n, and in that way the inverse Laplace transform of fs upon s to the power n, it is going to be the convolution of f of t and then the function 1 upon t to the power n. So which is basically it is defined as 1 upon n minus 1 factorial and 0 to t z of t minus tau f of tau, where z of t minus tau it is actually t minus tau to the power n minus 1. So again, what about if m is a negative integer? What would be the expression for dm of ft, like the mth derivative of function f of t? So that we'll be finding out here in this slide, that we take the same problem, that dn of yt is equal to f of t with initial conditions yi0 is equal to 0, i0 and I is equal to 0, 1 to up to n minus 1. And if you integrate both the sides n times, because it has a derivative, n order derivative of yt. So if you integrate both the sides of dn yt is equal to ft n times, so we are going to get yt, it is 0 to t and then and so on, the n integral f of tau 1 and the dummy variables that to be integrated d of tau 1, tau 2 and up to tau n, which is let us say that these n integrals, then these n integrals we say that it is in of f of t, and it is going to be equal to d of minus n f of t, because just to look at if you integrate that dn yt left hand side n times, it is going to be equal to yt, and whatever the you get operator right hand side, it is actually d of minus n that the inverse operator of the derivative, that nth time, so d minus n of f of t. And it is going to be useful in defining the expression for the nth, the alpha order fractional integral of f of t. So in f of t, now it is defined as using the same relation that earlier we have used, that s to the power n, ys is equal to fs, or ys is equal to fs upon s to the power n, and yt is equal to in f of t. So basically that is using the same formula, 1 upon n minus 1 factorial, 0 to t minus tau to the power n minus 1, and f of tau. And see that this integral, it is actually 1 upon n minus 1 factorial, 0 to t, and t minus tau to the power n minus 1, f of tau. It is valid for any real fraction, any positive fraction n, and it is also valid for negative fractions n, or n is any fraction in set of real numbers, as it involves factorial of n minus 1, where this factorial of n minus 1, it is going to be defined in terms of gamma function, and it is going to be equal to gamma n, and the gamma function is defined everywhere except all the negative integers. So if you take n as any fraction except negative integers, it is going to be defined. The integral is valid, and it can be obtained the value of the integral for any fraction alpha, where alpha is any positive fraction or negative fraction except negative integers. And what will be at negative integers? It is going to be, already it is defined as a derivative. So now in that way, if you replace n by alpha, so we are going to have the expression, and it is said to be Riemann level fractional integral. So this is defined as, since this factorial n minus 1, so if you replace n by alpha, it is factorial alpha minus 1, which is actually factorial alpha minus 1, that is gamma alpha. So I alpha f of t, it is defined as 1 upon gamma alpha, a to t, t minus s to the power alpha minus 1, and f of s ds. So this integral is valid for any fraction alpha, either positive or negative. And whenever this alpha is a positive integer or negative integer, already we have either the derivative of function or the integral of function, that is already known to us. So this equation number 1, it defines the Riemann level fractional integral of order alpha. In same way, we can define the Riemann level fractional derivative. And what would be that derivative? So this d alpha, we denote the fractional derivative by d alpha, and it is going to be equal to mth derivative of m minus alpha times fractional integral of f of t. Why this expression or this formula is applicable here? Because already just we have established here that in f of t is equal to d of minus n f of t. So integral and derivative, they can now be represented using a same operator. Till now we are using separately, like it is a derivative and another one is integral. Now we can define both of them using a single operator. If you take a positive order, it is going to be integral. If you take a negative order, it is going to be a derivative of the function. So using this, in of ft is equal to d minus n f of t over here. So this dm I of m minus alpha f of t. So I m minus alpha, it will be now d of minus sign minus alpha f of t and d minus m to each other, and it is going to be d alpha f of t. So the fractional derivative of order alpha, it is like we have to differentiate m times the m minus alpha order fractional integral of f of, and it is given by equation number 2, where alpha lying between level fractional derivative, it is defined and labeled, that's why it is named. And in same way, we can also define this fractional derivative. If we have the derivative of we have the derivative at the using the derivative of function, it is known for order n. So if
Sorry
another
for the
derivative of
interruption.
function is known, we can also define this
Sorry for the
derivative
interruption, sir.
in fractional derivative. So, hello,
Sorry for the
Hello,
interruption.
yes,
hello, Rajesh sir.
hello,
Your PPT
Sir,
is not
please
visible.
share your slides. Sir, your PPT is not
yes.
visible, sir. So please go to the presentation mode, sir.
Right now,
Your camera has
PPT.
been
Now,
on.
okay. No, 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 sir, no.
It is not visible. Now is it visible?
Your screen is visible, sir. Your PPT is not visible, sir.
No. Okay. Okay. So now, so you can immediately interrupt
Yeah.
me if something goes wrong because I'm not able
Okay.
to see the screen. Just I'm able to see the PPT. Now, are you
Yes,
able
sir.
to
Yes,
see
sir.
the PPT?
So this.
Now,
It's
okay.
fine.
So, till which slide have you seen? I'm going to
Yeah.
repeat it.
No, just we have interrupted. So you go back where you.
Okay.
Okay.
So have you seen this slide
Yes, sir,
16?
yes, sir.
One person
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
can communicate.
Yeah, it's
So this
completed.
one, have you seen this one?
Yeah,
It is
it's
completed.
completed. It's
Okay.
completed. Yeah, it's
Yeah, please
yeah,
let me know
completed. It's
because
already completed.
actually somehow the problem appears in my laptop. So,
Yeah.
okay, so this Kabuto fractional
Okay, sir.
derivative constants. So may I start from here?
Yeah.
Okay. So this derivative again, I am going to repeat this Kabuto fractional derivative. It is actually applied when when we have to obtain the fractional derivative. Suppose we have to obtain the derivative between 0 and 1, and we have the idea of what is f dash. Like the derivative of function at 1, it is known, and we have to obtain the fractional derivative of order alpha less than 1. So you can use the derivative, it is known at the upper end, like for alpha is equal to 1, and we have to obtain for alpha less than 1. So earlier it was Riemann level derivative. You can say that that alpha may be anything between any two integers, between any two integers m minus 1 and m, that can be obtained. It is specifically for specifically we can obtain only if fm is known. Like if f dash is known, we can obtain between this derivative between 0 and 1. So here you see that the derivative, it has fm s in the integral. So that's why it is said to be Kabuto fractional derivative. And now let me show you one example over here. Okay, so one application that I'm going to show you. So this is a problem, that physical problem. Everybody might have gone through this problem, and we'll see that how this fractional derivative, they are used to formulate a problem that is already known to us, and that can be also solved using the ordinary derivative. So see that in this figure there is a particle p of mass m, and it is allowed to slide from point P, and it has to reach to the lowest point in the horizontal plane at the point O. So the particle P is allowed to slide from point P to point O. The question is that if time is given, or the question is that what would be the path that the particle starts from point P and it reaches to point O in the shortest time. There is one question. Another question is, if time is given, that this time it is certain time. Now find out the path of the particle that the particle travels on that path and it reaches to point O in that period of time. So there are two important problems related to this, and it is said to be Tato-Koron problem. And what we do, that we formulate this problem over here using the conservation of energy. So we know that at any place, at any point P or at any point Q, the conservation of energy, it has the kinetic energy has to be equal to the potential energy. And what is kinetic energy? That is half mv square, and it must be equal to the potential energy, that is mg of h. So v is the speed of the particle that it has. The particle is allowed to slide under the influence of gravity without any speed, and it has a mass m. And you can see that at any point q in between p and o, suppose let us say that its coordinate is xi and eta, so it is going to be at point q. In that way, at point q, the height is going to be equal to y minus eta. So half mv square is equal to mg h. And what about h? That is y minus eta. So if you solve it, we have the expression v is equal to minus under root 2z y minus eta, and the v, that is the speed, and let us say that ds by dt, the distance s traveled in a particular time period, dt. So this s now is a function that already we have taken eta. So using the chain rule, that ds, that is equal to ds d eta and d eta, or using this the previous expression, that it is simplified as under root of 2z and 0 to ty dt is equal to 0 to y minus eta to the power minus half ds d eta and d eta. So ds d eta, that is the derivative of s with respect to eta, and it is the first order derivative. We can also say that s dash eta. So in integral, it involves the first order derivative, and also the expression, you see that y minus eta to the power minus half. So it is exactly the previous definition of the derivative that we have just finished, that is the Caputo derivative. So if we can define it as gamma half d half sy, and at the left hand side it is under root 2z t of y. So you can observe that this problem, it is now formulated in terms of fractional order derivative. So this fractional order derivative, you can now observe that it is directly linked with the problems of physical importance that is already investigated using the integral order derivatives. So that's why I said that the fractional order derivative, it has a past history, and already it has a connection with other several things, integral order derivatives, and several other applications. They can be formulated or they can be modeled using fractional derivatives. Still, there are few issues in the fractional derivatives, but for practical application, it is going to be quite useful. And some of the application that we are going to discuss in upcoming slides. So we take the problem of image denoising. So the first portion of this talk, that is fractional calculus. So I am going to finish it over here, and now I am going to discuss on the topic of image denoising. And okay, so now I come to the topic, that is images and noises. So what is an image? So the previous part, that is actually I have put over there to bring the idea, because most of you are engineers and you people directly use these filters, and you find out the simulation results. So the background that I thought of to include to let you know how these actually fractional integrals, they are investigated, how actually they are derived, and what is the physical application of it. So the one example that I have also shown to you. There are several other examples that several other examples are also there that you can also find in literature. So now image and noises. So most of you already knowing that what is an image. So just we define like that is a two-dimensional function fxy with spatial variables x and y. They are containing some information actually. What is noise? That is unwanted information in any signal or in any image, or the information that is not required, that is not necessary to be there in the signal or image, that is said to be noise. Is noise affect the image? So surely that noises affect the image, because the original information that that for our need is it is to be actually hidden. So due to the noise, so that's why noises are not required actually for our application problem, and that's why noise removal techniques, they are important to study in current scenario. And how it comes, the noises, maybe vibration in sensors or vibration in illumination conditions. Many real life examples that you find that noises occur in a signal or image from one place and then it reaches to the receiver end. You can take a direct example that rainy season if you take, and if you are watching your television, you'll observe that the picture's quality becomes poor or video quality becomes poor. So that is also due to the noise comes into the atmosphere, due to the and due to vibration in sensors, or due to the place from where these images or these signals are being transmitted. So these are the main issues with images and noises. That's why noise removal, they are necessary. And now let us discuss a few more basics about derivative and integral, how they are related in the image, and what is role of the derivatives and integrals for an image actually. So derivatives, mainly it is related to the intensity variation. It measures the intensity variation in the image. So mainly it is applicable for the enhancing the image, that where you need to enhance the pixel values, enhance the intensity values of the image. In that way, we use the derivatives, first order derivatives and second order derivative for in the purpose also. Integrals, mainly what it does, it actually averages the intensity. So if you apply integral on some image or some function, maybe it is going to reduce the intensity, it is going to smoother the image, it is going to smoother the signal. So it actually smoothes the image in the specific domain. So integrals can be used as a tool for smoothing in the image, and derivatives, they can be used for the image enhancement, for increasing the intensity values in the images. So why this fractional integral and fractional derivatives, they are required over here? Because most of the times that we want to smooth the image, smoothing that is required to the image, but maybe whatever the integral does, that is not actually not needed, or it smoothes a lot the image, and which is not required. We want the more information to be retained in the image. We want more information to be retained in the image. So that's why, or we want a certain portion of the image not to be smooth more, but we want some, like for a different region of the image, if you want lesser smoothing, if you want more smoothing, and if you apply either integral, so it is overall it is going to smooth the image. So what it does actually, fractional integral and fractional derivative, so it actually gives us a tool for which we can actually control the smoothing of the image with the fractional order alpha. So the ordinary integral removes, and the drawback is also that ordinary integral removes the texture and fine details in the image during image denoising, and which may be important actually for our purposes, that texture or patterns of the image, it is also going to be degraded in an ordinary integral. So that is also another cause of that using the ordinary integral actually masks, and maybe that it is also smoothing in a larger extent, and that is not actually that we don't want that up to that level the image to be smooth. So, and due to that, the image becomes blur or loses the information, that loses the information having a small variation in the image. And what is to be done, that controlling the order between 0 and 1, we can find that, or we can find the specific value of alpha, for which we can see that this order of fractional integral, or for a particular value of alpha, the corresponding fractional mask may be applied for image denoising and smoothing up to our desire. So smoothness of image increases with increment in order. So by varying the order alpha, we can also have the our particular interest, that how much smoothing we want in the image. And this gives the advantage over the existing ordinary order integral and derivatives. So the fractional derivatives and fractional integrals, it is going to be very much important over here for our green imaging applications. There are other filters too, like spatial domain filters and frequency domain filters. So both of them, they are being used for our different purposes. Frequency domain filters are being actually the filters that is going to transform the whole image into a frequency domain, like you have Fourier transform, Veblen transform, or many other transforms. And once you transform the whole image in a frequency domain, and then if you are going to do simulation, if you are going to apply these filters on the whole image, maybe the local information, frequency domain filters fail to preserve the local information in the image. So actually it is going to apply overall on the frequency domain, not actually in the spatial domain. The advantage with spatial domain filters is that the particular region can be modified, can be enhanced, can be denoised as per your choice. This is the advantage over frequency domain. The filters obtained by fractional integral and derivative, these are going to be used for the purpose. And what is the advantage? That fractional filter removes noises, also preserves the informations in the image very well, like textures and other fine details in the image. And as per our study, we found that the fractional filters works well for the texture-rich images and also preserve other information in the image. So now I will go to brief details about the deimaging filters, or the traditional filters that you might be knowing already in image processing course. The one is average or mean filter, and there is median filter, and then Gaussian filter defined by this Gaussian distribution function. So these things actually you can, or you might have gone through the book that Gonzalez and Woods digital image processing, and about more details about average mean filter, median filter, and Gaussian filter that you can find in this book. So I'll briefly discuss that any a 5x5 mask, filter mask, that is Gaussian smoothing filter, that is given by this matrix. Okay, so some existing fractional filters in recent years, several other researchers, they also introduces the fractional mask actually, or the fractional filters using Riemann-Liouville fractional integral and Riemann-Liouville fractional derivative. So Riemann-Liouville fractional integral, that is already we have defined previously in previous slides. So how the filters are derived, or it is investigated. See that equation 4, the integral, it is being discretized, and it is discretized using the step size as a 1 pixel, and this work is defined by Fu et al. The authors of this paper, you can find it below, that Fu et al. A novel image denoising algorithm based on Riemann-Liouville definition. It is published in this journal, and for more details you can find over here. And how this filter look like, comparing the coefficients of this discretization process, I will find that the main idea is that the step size that is taken as a 1 pixel, or more detail or more derivation about this, you can go through that paper. And the filter is the filter coefficients are C0, C1, C2, and Cn. They are given by equation number 5. And next, that another filter is Grunwald-Letigno fractional filter. It is based on the Grunwald-Letigno fractional derivative, and this is already actually the discretized version of this derivative is there. So we don't need to discretize it. Already we can find out the coefficient, like C0 is equal to 1 and Ck is equal to this. Is given by equation 7, and this is the whole reference. More details can be found in reference number 5. The next one is improved Grunwald-Letigno fractional filter. It is recently proposed and by Hay et al. In the reference number 6. It is published in the Journal Signal Processing in the year 2015, and a novel, an improved fractional order differentiation model for image denoising. And you can see that these fractional filters are investigated, are proposed in that paper, and 3x3 filter masks in X and Y directions. They are given by these 4 fractional masks in the slide, actually. And another one is Alexandre fractional differential filter. It is actually based on the Alexandre polynomial, and the polynomials actually, it is going to be in the form of t square or t and t cube, like that. And how the fractional filters are derived, we are going to calculate the fractional order integral and fractional order derivative for these polynomials, and corresponding Alexandre fractional mass is derived for this. And this work was initially studied by Zalal and Ibrahim, and it is also published in Signal Processing Journal in 2015. So now see that how the Alexandre fractional mass is derived. That we know that the fractional order derivative and integral of t to the power mu using this equation 14. It is actually the alpha order derivative of t to the power mu is given by gamma mu plus 1 and upon gamma mu minus alpha plus 1 t to the power mu minus alpha, where alpha is between 0 and 1. So we obtain the coefficients like as equation number 15, and if you write these coefficients in a mask form, in a 3x3 matrix form, it is going to act as a mask, and it is said to be Alexandre integral mask. And next one is Alexandre differential mask, and Alexandre integral mask, because differential mask just we are done, and integral mask that we take the alpha order fractional integral of t to the power mu, and which is actually gamma mu plus 1 upon gamma mu plus alpha plus 1 and t to the power mu plus alpha, and the same process that we apply over here, and in that way this mask is derived. Now, what is our actually contribution over here? The proposed filter that we use the k operator instead of Riemann-Liouville fractional integral. The advantage is that it is defined like p times a to x k alpha x xi f of xi d xi plus q times x to b k alpha x xi f of xi d xi. So if you take different values of p and q, so different combination of fractional mass can be derived. And in the particular case, see that if you take q is equal to 0, and if you give a particular expression for k alpha x xi, it is going to be like Riemann-Liouville fractional integral. Like if you take k alpha as a power kernel, so power kernel means 1 upon t minus tau to the power mu minus like alpha minus 1. So this is going to be take the form of Riemann-Liouville fractional integral, and if you change the kernel, it is also going to take form of some other fractional integral, and similar way fractional derivative they can be defined. So by p and q we can adjust the values of p and q in the mask for our choice, and to get the desired actually accuracy in the denoising algorithm. So p and q, the values that you can take either 1, 2, 3, it is up to you, or you can take 1 and 0 or any scalar. Actually they are the weights in the integral operator k. So for our study, what we have taken that several other people already they took the Riemann-Liouville fractional integral, and so Riemann-Liouville fractional integral consists of the power kernel, or the kernel already it is used. So what we take actually the Ries kernel as a k alpha. It is different than that to make our study more rigorous and fruitful. So k alpha is chosen as 1 upon gamma n alpha, and in this expression number 19. And see that this work is already published. Whatever we have proposed, the work is done by one of my PhD student, Mr. A.K. Shukla, and it is our group. It is published in Circuit System and Signal Processing, and paper name is Generalized Fractional Filter Based algorithm for image denoising. And the operator, this K operator is proposed by Professor Agrawal, and the paper is published in Computer Mathematics with Application in the year 2010. So for more details about this algorithm that we are going to discuss for whatever that we have proposed for the fractional mask, that you can find in this reference. Again, you can find it from the journal Circuit System and Signal Processing. And the process is similar as we have discussed earlier, that we are going to discretize the integral and we are going to collect the coefficients using step size as a 1 pixel in the image. So after going through derivations and discretizing it, we derive the fractional mask. These are the calculations that is used to discretize it. More details you'll be finding in the paper, because here I present in short. And the coefficients, actually they are obtained by equation number 23. Equation 23, the coefficients are obtained. So these are the coefficients of the mask, like Cf minus m, Cf minus m minus 1, and so on, and Cf0, then Cf1, Cf2, and Cf like this. What is that? For the function that is involved in the integral operator. So these are the coefficients, and for k is between 1 to n, 0 to, sorry, for k is between 1 to m minus 1, sorry, k is equal to between 1 to n, the fractional mask can be designed. And the mask can also be modified by, as I told, that by taking the values of p and q, and it can be also be improved, or the adaptive scheme can also be developed, that how to find the particular value of alpha. Some work that we are going and for the adaptive schemes, and we have presented some study in our another research paper for image enhancement and some other applications. So actually the table 1, it presents the whole the complete mask of the fractional integral in terms of the k operator. So in all 8 directions, see that this mask is designed, and that's why the middle value, it is 8 times Cf0, because it is going to be repeated and it is going to be added for 8 directions. So that's why it is 8 times Cf0, and for all other values like Cf1, Cf2, and Cfn. So for a particular choice of mask, that can be designed like 3 by 3, 5 by 5 by choosing the value of n. And next is okay. Next is the flow chart of the algorithm that we use for the image denoising purpose. That is the input image, and then if it is a RGB, if it is no, then again we go and apply on a gray image, then apply the fractional mask, and then output image. If it is S, and then we transform in HSI domain, and then we apply the fractional mask on the intensity value, and again we recombine it, and again go to the output image. So this is the flow chart. You all might be familiar of this, because most of you belong to computer science engineering. So let us okay. For the simulation purpose, actually we take these different type of images. Like you see, one of the images is capsicum, second is a couple, third is the cameraman, and then the truck image and the beer image, and one more, that is the MRI image that we take for the simulation purpose, for the implementation purpose. Okay, so these are different images that we take. One of the medical image and other images also, and we also take satellite images, and then different type of images are taken to perform the numerical simulation. And the value of P over here that we take, that the denoising performance of the proposed filter at different values of P, and for the different images actually, see that the one is all the performance is plotted over here, and it is actually the plot of MSE, mean square error, versus the value of P. And we find that when we take the value P very close to 1, it is going to give the best accuracy, because the MSE is going to be the lowest. So the value of P around 1, it would be more significant, it would be more important for the implementation purpose on all these images that we have done. And the noise that is used as with a mean 0, the noise is taken as a mean 0 Gaussian noise with variance 0.02. And these are the experimental results that we find using all the filters over here, that whatever the filters that we have shown you, and the proposed one. So we all compare for this truck image. Actually, this is the image, and A is the sampled image, B is the image with Gaussian noise, C is the average filter, D is the median filter, and Gaussian smoothing filter, and Riemann-Liouville filter, Grunewald-Datigneau filter, and several filters that we have discussed. I think about 7 to 8, and the proposed filter with P is equal to 1.0 and proposed with P is equal to 1.05 over here. For this particular image, now you can see that the mean square error, that is the lowest among all the filters actually, for P is equal to 1 and P is equal to 1.05. So the proposed one is performing the best one among all the fractional filters, and even the traditional filters like average filter, mean filter, and Gaussian filter. So this is the one case that MSE versus variance plot is given in figure 5. Now see that PSNR, peak signal to noise ratio, it is also plotted over here, and we also perform the simulation using all other filters with the proposed filter for P is equal to 1 and P is equal to 1.05, and see that the PSNR is the highest for P is equal to 1.05 using the proposed filters. So here also you can see that there is a huge difference between PSNR of the proposed one with the other existing one. So this is also that it supersedes the finding with the other fractional filters. And then another parameter that we analyzed, that is SSIM, because you see that these are the parameters that they help us to find out which one or which method or which filter is performing better. As visually you will see that there is no difference among all the images. They are processed using different filters. So the parameters they are important to study to find a conclusion about the accuracy of the different filters. So SSIM is also calculated, and it is also plotted through this figure number 7. You can see over here the performance of the proposed one for P is equal to 1 and P is equal to 1.05. And these are the tables, the numerical values that is obtained, and it is also compared with the other filter and the proposed one. That is also we have shown in the figures also, and the same thing that is also here presented over here in a tabular form. So second image that we take the cameraman image and also perform the similar simulations like for the previous images, and we also take two different methods. That is one is BM3D, it is the block matching 3D method, and second one is WNNM, that is weighted nuclear norm minimization method. And this weighted nuclear norm minimization, it is the very famous work, and it is published in a IEEE journal. This work in reference number 13, IEEE, actually it is IEEE conference, and the previous one, BRIAM 3D, that is IEEE projection on image processing. They are the very prestigious works. They're published, having citation, I think, more than 1,000 or even more. And we also compare our proposed method using these two methods. And these two methods are different from the filtering approach, like the previous method that we have compared with the filtering approaches. And they are not the filtering approaches, they are the different methods as per the request of the reviewer. We have compared and we have concluded our findings. So here also see that only a small portion of the variance in this PSNR figure. See that when the variance is up to between 0 to 0.1, the one is the BM3D is performing better. And as you take variance more than 0.015, the proposed one is performing and better than these methods. So just only for a small portion of the variance in the noise, this BM3D performs better, and for all other, the proposed one supersedes and it performs a better result. So other method is also concluded here, that is WNNM, that is also compared with the proposed one. And next one is that we perform the simulation on our data set. This data set is having 12 images, and it is taken from the reference that is it is given over here, that's 14, and the PSNR is plotted, and finally concluded that the proposed filter performs overall actually the better among all the methods that we have discussed. So these are the findings of the proposed method with fractal filter approaches, some other approaches, and recently or well-known methods like BM3D and WNNM. The computation time of the proposed approach is also very less as compared to the WNNM method and BM3D method. It is also given in table 4. So finally, now it is time to conclude the talk. That in this talk, actually, we have discussed the basics of fractional derivative and what are their expressions, how it is defined, how it is it forms an expression, and then we defined Riemann level derivative, and then Kaputov fractional derivative, and also then we have discussed about an application on application of fractional derivative with a model that we take. It is said to be Totoplan problem, and later we discussed about image and some well-known fractional filters from literature we take, and then the proposed method, the proposed operator that we have discussed. We also discussed about how the filters are investigated, and at the end that simulation results of the proposed filter and several other filters, they're also performed and they're also compared over here. So overall conclusion that proposed method that we have investigated, they are found comparatively better than our other discussed methods. And more detail of this proposed work that is done by us, you will be getting in the paper that is published in circuit system and signal processing. Some other open questions or open problems over here that I suggest, that the idea to find adaptive algorithm, like the idea to choose adaptivity to develop adaptivity for this filter. Adaptive in the sense what? Adaptivity in the sense of fractional filters, or adaptivity for the values of P and Q. Still, we are working on it. You people, if you are interested, you may also join to work on this topic to develop an adaptive scheme for several image processing applications using the proposed fractional filters. So overall, I thank you all for your for listening me the talk sincerely. Now I invite you all for questions. If you have any question, then please communicate your question to Dr. Kaushalendra so that you can put in front of me. Kaushalendra?
Yeah. Now session is open for questions.
Good afternoon, sir. It's Sanjay here, sir. I am having one question, one sir.
Okay.
Sir, you have given the experimental results you have compared on the basis of MSc, PSNR and SSIM, sir. So, could you please tell us, sir, what will be the effect on the entropy of that result, sir?
Oh, that is
Especially
also okay, see that some more results are also given in the paper. Just you can go through that.
Okay.
All the details are not presented over here. For entropy
Okay,
also, the proposed one is also performing better. You can
Okay, sir.
see that the paper actually. We just actually present over just only few results over here.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And even you can use these filters and you can also work on different applications because they are the newly proposed filters and it is widely being used in several other domains.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Anyone else or any other question, please?
I will
Yeah.
suggest to party. Yeah, Ajad, anything?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In comment section, in chat, some questions are posted by the participant.
Yeah,
That is posted by Amrit Verma.
that
What is
Anil is
HSI
replied.
domain
Yeah,
in the flowchart?
Anil is already replied. Use saturation intensity.
Yeah,
That
that is
is
use
exercise, the
saturation
color
and
model.
intensity. Yes,
That is color
Okay,
model.
okay.
That is a color model.
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
And I will suggest to participants, this is the fractional things in India. Very less people are working on the fractional. That is a pure mathematics. Anyone is working, but
Kaushal,
very less. Yeah,
let me say something.
yeah.
All the participants or audiences, you are also requested to contact Dr. Kausalendra. He is also working with us on these filters. And if you have any query, you can communicate to him. He is also in touch with us. Even he is working with our group. And maybe you can discuss with Kausalendra too for the some other aspects, other applications about these filters also. And few more filters also we presented in another paper. It is published in IEEE, that is Kausalendra, that is the journal
Yeah.
IEEE Automatica Sinica.
Yeah, Arithmetica
You can
Sinica one
also-
is
yeah.
research in non-destructive evaluation.
Right.
RNT.
You can also go through that. Some more filters that we have presented over there. That is the work of Dr. Kausalendra and myself together. And that is published in IEEE Automatica Sinica. So that part actually I have not covered. And I think Dr. Kausalendra is going to cover that one in his talk tomorrow. So
Yeah,
that is
tomorrow
also
I
very
will
interesting
explain
work.
about the wood application.
That is also very interesting work. You must listen that one. Questions जो भी हैं हाँ बोलिए.
Anyone? Any other question? So now it's time to conclude the session.
हाँ Kausalendra.
Now it's time to conclude, sir. We already some questions Anil has replied in the chat box.
Okay. Better let them actually. Anil has replied. That is good. And if they would have, that's very good actually. He has replied them.
So thank you, sir. Thank you, participants. Too. Now next session will start from 4 p.m. and a speaker from Leeds Banquet from UK, Dr. Akbar Sheikh Akbari. So thank you. We are going to signing off.
Thank you, Kausalendra.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.